top player is here. Let me have some fun.
Ready? Then show me.
This will be a good fight.
This is our destiny. My secret art.
Street Fighter 6.
All right. Greetings, everyone. I am the Rad, and I'd like to welcome you to the Infinite Ammo Syndicate podcast, where we will be discussing Street Fighter 6 and its recent media super combo after its big gameplay reveal trailer at Sony's State of Play for June 2022. Yes, we are here. We were told at Capcom Cup we'd get more info on this game in June, and June arrived with the speed of a wake-up Dragon Punch. And I'm personally elated that everyone can discuss Street Fighter 6 in depth now, since we finally have more information about the game beyond 10 seconds of tense man muscle. But I won't be fighting alone. I have taken to the streets, and I have recruited many fellow World Warriors to this discussion. So, let me introduce you to the rest of the panel. We have Drillbit.
Yo, what's up, everyone?
We have Kaneki.
I want to go back to playing King of Fighters. No, I'm just kidding. I'm hyped for this game now.
Yeah. And we have Jojo.
Chun Li is back, baby. Woo!
Yeah. Which is good, because we have Nikki.
Yay! Of course you would say something about me as soon as you say something about Chun Li. Because I am Chun Li. Yay! Hi, everyone.
And we have Nero.
What's up? Yeah, it's time to fight in the streets. Hopefully not get a concussion this time.
All right, then. So let's just take to the streets with the first general question. How about that gameplay trailer? What do you guys think of the gameplay trailer shown off at State of Play?
Very colorful.
Looks like they're trying something new while keeping some stuff classic. I'm liking that. I'm just hoping the what do you call it? The simplified button combo thing. Like if you play online, you can only fight them if you want to, or fight the simple ones, or fight the non-simple ones, whatever one you want. That's the one thing I'm hoping for, at least.
They've done that before. Ultra Street Fighter 2 has a filter for that, and I'm pretty sure Super Street Fighter 4 on the 3DS have the same filter. So I'm certain that it will exist.
They confirmed that you can turn it off with those simple combos.
Yeah, I know you could turn them off. I'm like, if you want to fight just people who have the classic controls turned on or something, like that should be an option for who you want to fight online.
I don't think that's going to happen. At best, you'll get probably beginners, but that's about it.
If it happens, it happens. It just adds to my win counter and my rank.
Well, there you go.
I got no complaints there.
I mean, I've been playing
sorry.
I've been playing these games for a while now, so I don't think a lot of these new features are really going to bother me. Just as long as the core gameplay remains intact.
Also, I hope they don't make Chun Li a charge character. I like her as a quarter circle forward fireball user.
So I must have watched that trailer more than I've watched any other video game trailer in a very, very long time. I think it's one of the best trailers I've ever seen because it gives you just enough of what you ask for and a little more if you go looking for it, which we will get back to that. But what intrigues you more about this game compared to its previous iteration, Street Fighter V?
Well, it sounds like they're taking the launch of this game a lot more seriously than they are 5. Because I'm sure you all remember the disastrous launch of 5. I mean, it's a good game now, but it looks like they're working hard to make this have a successful launch. So I'm looking forward to that.
At least we'll get story mode at launch. That's all I needed.
Oh, they confirmed that?
Yeah, the trailer we saw from State of Play, that's the story mode.
Oh yeah, that open world thing. Oh yeah, I hope that's going to be fun too.
Yep.
You can definitely see like how much love they're pouring into it. Like I think they realized all the mistakes that they made from 5, and they're like, okay, well, we're not going to do this again. If we want this game to be as successful as we want it to be, we got to pour all our love into it, and we got to make sure that when it comes out, people want it. I mean, people are going to get it anyway because it's Street Fighter regardless. I think a lot of people have loyalty to Street Fighter, but with how much love and attention they're putting into it, it looks just so cool right now. I really like what they're doing so far with it.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of the trailer is the confirmation of the general aesthetic of the game. We are in a centralized location. At last, Street Fighter has a vision, and they are sticking to their guns this time around. Which brings me to my next question, if no one else has any general thoughts on the State of Play trailer.
Well, actually, I thought it looked pretty good. So far, it looks like they're offering more single-player content compared to 5, because all there was in 5 was online, single, and survival, I think. Like, all you could really do was just farm fight money, but that's it.
It's like once you were done the story mode, like that was it.
The story mode looks interesting. Kind of reminds me of some. Maybe it'll be. Isn't it like a create a character or something like that?
That is the current speculation.
I mean, it could be like Xenoverse, where you have to learn moves from other people and then just explore Metro City.
Like the avatar you make for this battle hub is the same avatar you're dragging with you on this single player story, which is confirmed to be called World Tour, by the way. Thank you, Capcom, for the little Alpha 3 nod. It doesn't go unnoticed.
I kind of have a little theory about the avatar as well.
Go ahead.
Like, I don't know how legit it is, but I kind of feel like the avatar is Kyle, who's Cody's brother from Streetwise. Like, I kind of feel like they took him, and not in a literal sense, but kind of like in a spiritual sense, and like made him as the avatar.
That would be cool. I actually kind of liked Kyle in Streetwise.
Mm-hmm.
But onto our next question. Street Fighter 6 now has Metro City as a setting. How do you guys feel about going into Final Fight territory as a general basis for the story? And I'll kind of go first, and then I'll leave it to you guys. I have said that Street Fighter's story doesn't know what it wants to be. Like, it feels like it changes with every Street Fighter game, and the stakes become way higher than they really need to be sometimes. Like Shadow Falls, you have all the Street Fighters trying to stop Bison from launching an EMP, and nothing about that really says Street Fighter to me. So, I'm glad that this seems to have settled on something a bit more, pardon the pun here, street level. Capcom flat out tells you what Street Fighter is about on their website with the concept page. I will quote it verbatim over here. The world of Street Fighter 6 is all about the street culture. From the graffiti, to the music that beats while you hustle, and to the fight itself. It's like a rhythm and dance that doesn't stop. And I've got to admit, even reading that sentence puts a smile on my face. That's a descriptive identity that sets Street Fighter apart from damn near every other fighting game universe. So how appropriate that the trailer of this game focuses on Metro City. What do you guys think about that?
Makes me I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, I'm start first. I feel like they're finally connecting Street Fighter to Final. They're finally connecting Street Fighter to Final Fight, and it makes and as like a general like location, I feel like we're gonna get a lot more of that street flavor. We'll probably even see cameos from other characters from Final Fight.
Yeah, it would be cool to have the big three from Final Fight come back as playable characters: Cody, Guy, and Hagar. We haven't seen Hagar in a long time. I'm wondering if, like, the story in this game, the villain faction probably has some connection with the Mad Gear Gang. Now, that would be something cool to explore in the story. See how far the Mad Gear Gang's influence has reached since the days of Final Fight. You mean you never know if they're operating in the shadows after they were defeated?
Seeing you bring up Mike Hagar kind of reminded me of something in the trailer. There was a statue I noticed that said, like, Mike Hagar Revitalization Memorial. And I don't want to infer anything from that, but it is possible that Mayor Mike Hagar has passed on.
Aw, man. I'm hoping that's
did
not
see
true. I'm
that,
hoping that's
yeah.
not
I
true.
think there were people on Twitter saying that it wasn't true, that it just says memorial because it's like a dedication to like the actual city or so. And it's really funny because obviously Metro City is based on New Jersey, but or I should say North Jersey. But as I had returned from Maryland Death Fest, we were walking around Baltimore, and I kind of got some Baltimore vibes about Metro City as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like, I definitely saw a statue that looked really similar to obviously not Hagar's design, but its statue is very similar to what they have for him. But yeah, I'm really excited because I'm like a huge Final Fight fan, and I definitely feel like this is the sequel to Final Fight 3. Like, this is what Streetwise should have been. And I feel like they're taking a lot from Streetwise and a lot from Final Fight 1 and kind of mixing it all together.
I'm sorry, just the thought of Capcom even acknowledging Streetwise, I did not like that game.
I mean, Capcom has done everything in their power to not reference it. I think like the closest thing we got to it was in Fortnite with Candy.
Oh, geez, how come they'll reference that but ignore God Hand? Just saying. Come on, Capcom.
I think the only thing they took from Streetwise was making Kyle canon and Cody and Kyle's family name and transferring it over to Street Fighter.
They probably don't like
Tammy's
God.
design, yeah.
I mean, they acknowledge he has a brother, but they're not going to acknowledge the events of Streetwise. It probably doesn't exist.
Yeah, probably
No,
not.
it's not canon, yeah.
As I said before, they
Which
probably don't
actually
like
kinda
God.
makes me think.
Damn.
I was kind of thinking of something which we'll, mention later on in the podcast, but I have another crazy idea. I'll mention that later.
But anyone else need to say anything about the general setting of Metro City?
Looks like New York City to me when they showed the full city, but
I
that's just
mean, it could have been taken it could have taken inspiration from New York for all we know.
I mean, those studios love being in the city, so I can't blame them.
Though I will say this, I still hope that they at least keep the globe-trotting aspect of Street Fighter in, like obviously going to like Japan and China for parts of the game. I'm hoping they at least keep that in. Just like I'm fine with like the main setting being Metro City, but Street Fighter without globe-trotting feels like, I don't know, Team Fortress 2 without a medic.
Well, if we can take a page from SNK, the first Fatal Fury, the first Art of Fighting, these are games that took place entirely in the fictional Southtown. So it's not entirely out there that a fighting game can be centralized. Plus, the World Warrior was a concept that is 30 years old.
Yeah. I mean, at least it's cool they're experimenting with something else for story mode than just doing, the MK style one where it's just a cinematic story.
Then I will just move on to the next question, which actually continues our discussion of the story. How does it feel that this game finally takes place after Street Fighter 3 in the timeline?
It's about goddamn time.
23 years has it been since Gil and everyone had their shine?
Yeah.
Yeah, 20. It was like what, 99 when Street Fighter 3 first came out in arcades or something?
It was 1999 when Third Strike came out.
Oh.
And that
that's right.
kind
Third
of
Strike's kind of a sequel.
Yeah, that kind of moved the story forward from Second Impact. It was the same story beats, but it's slightly more development and, of course, more characters to add into the mix.
Right, kind of like Alpha 2 to Alpha 3, since Alpha 2 kind of overwrit Alpha 1. I think that's what they did anyway.
It's the same idea. You're right. But yeah, as for me, I feel like Street Fighter has learned from the development of Street Fighter 3 when it comes to moving ahead and forging the new generation, because the last time they did that with Street Fighter 3, it kind of fell on its head because Street Fighter 3 started development as not Street Fighter, hence some of the characters that appear are kindly referred to as freaks. But I feel as though we are ready to move into the future. The one worry I have is that now it seems like the major bullet points of Street Fighter 3, heck, even Street Fighter 5, don't really matter to this new story and setting, and I can see how that would rattle some cages for reasons we'll get into later. But I'm really looking forward to just hearing more about this universe. What is going down in Metro City? The trailer with the city being overrun by these like people with cardboard boxes on their heads and dams just kind of hanging out on rooftops. I want to know more about that. But those are just my thoughts in general.
I'm happy it finally takes place. Like, we're finally going into the future. Like, I don't really know anything about the timeline here. Some people were saying that they think that 5 and 6 are taking place in the modern day, but
Yeah, the timeline's always been kind of hazy because if you actually follow if it took place in modern day, Chun Li would be like 54 by now.
Yeah, we constantly make the general jokes of wishing these characters a happy birthday when their date of birth is like the 70s.
Well, Chun's is 1968, so late 60s, early 70s.
Ah, that's right.
do those birthdays even count anymore? Because I'm like,
I mean, probably
all
not. Capcom keeps changing the timeline, so yeah.
right, because it's like if Third Strike is in like 1999 and if 6 is modern day, God, how many years is that now? At least 23.
Yeah.
About at least 20 years.
So that would
Probably.
make the characters, yeah, about 50s, 60s or so.
I think they do that thing like they do with The Simpsons, where they just keep changing the year they were born, so they stay the same age no matter how much time has passed in the series. I guess that's why Bart and Lisa are little kids all the time. It's
Mhm.
probably something they're kind of doing in Street Fighter 6, which is what kind of why you'd think that not a lot of the characters would look like old men. Like obviously Ryu would be like what in his 50s by now, but he's buff. Like he's got no gray hair whatsoever.
Mhm. I mean, yeah, they're not going to age like Chris Redfield or like any of
Yeah.
those people.
Yeah.
I am starting to think the statistics of the characters might be lying a bit. Like on the website, Ryu is listed as 5'9". That boy ain't no 5 foot nothing. I think he's like 180 pounds. Yeah, you're right. Maybe in his boxers.
Gotta be more than 180.
But yeah, I'm glad to see the series finally taking a chance and moving the story forward. Anyone else have any general thoughts about this potential time skip?
Wondering how the background characters are going to be like as well too.
Oh yeah.
Like when I think of characters like Ken's son, for example, he was what 8 years old, I think, when he showed up in the story, and
Wasn't he already like close, like 10 or 11 in Street Fighter 3?
Yeah, I think he was like I think he was like 12 or something in Street Fighter 3.
So let's say they like say hypothetically it's 15 years after Street Fighter 3. Then his kid would be close to his 30s.
Right.
Yeah,
which
he
would
was,
make
he was old enough to punch Ken in the groin in Street Fighter 3, so he's old enough.
Yeah, I think someone was trying to say that like his kid was in the military now, and I'm like, military? How old is he?
At least above 18, I'm guessing.
Yeah, which I'm also thinking, if we're talking about ages now, how old is Luke supposed to be? Because he doesn't. In fact, he looks younger than he looks in 5.
That RE engine, it does
or,
work.
Or I was going to say maybe he doesn't even. Maybe he bypasses all that time skip because he was like a quote unquote preview character in 5.
You know, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, like 5 wasn't even canon. His first canon appearance in the story. He's just there, like, hey, this guy's coming back later.
Mm-hmm.
Like we kind of forget the character additions for Street Fighter 4 when Super just dumped a bunch of Third Strike characters in here when some of them would either be too young, or Alpha 3, one of the console versions, just throws in Yun when he would be much younger. Like, it might be a little treat. A little bit of fan service. But I think that about does it for the general discussion on story. Let's get into the gameplay. What are your thoughts on the new exploration mode, where you could tour the city, generally like get into random fights, do dragon punches to random barrels in the city?
Well, I think that could be cool. Like maybe you could do like little missions where like you go find items, and maybe like you could use those items to unlock, stuff on your avatar, or maybe costume pieces for the other characters if they're going to implement that. That'd be something cool. Maybe some little Easter eggs that you could see for exploring the whole place. Like maybe you could find maybe you could come across a Street Fighter 2 arcade machine that you could play the original Street Fighter 2 on.
Oh, so you wanted to become Yakuza. Got it.
A little bit, maybe?
I mean, what if they did go like full beat 'em up with the story mode?
I mean, I'd be fine with that as long as like the traditional fighting was still like the backbone of the game.
That would depend, because if I wanted something like that, I would just go play Tekken Force or Tekken 6 story. But I'll wait and see what they do with the full story. I'm just not going to say anything about it yet.
But I imagine they're gonna have like a bunch of Easter eggs in it. Like you can kind of already see it. Like I remember someone pointed out that someone noticed an ad for Hakon's oil.
They already had an Easter egg with Streetwise. Like, they remember that game, so
yeah. And they remembered Hakan, and it's been like what, like over almost a decade.
Oh God, I hope he's not in the game. I hope he's not in the game.
How I feel about the gameplay? I feel like I hope there's secret battles where you have to fight characters with legacy character movesets. Some like hidden bosses, like you will fight an avatar with Gen's moveset or Eagle's moveset. Something like that.
I think JoJo might have been onto something with the idea of just walk into an arcade and play some classic games.
Yeah, imagine like if you go to a Capcom arcade and you can play stuff like Ghouls, Ghosts and Goblins, or 1942, I think was another
Right.
Capcom game.
Yeah, and you could obviously like get like in-game currency you could spend on stuff like costumes or
I mean,
other unlockables.
they could also put in like Cannon Spike and Cannon Spike and Power Stone in there
No.
too.
Oh,
Don't
That's
bring
a little
back
too
fight.
ambitious.
Don't bring back fight money. I don't care what anyone says. Do not bring fight money back.
Oh,
That
I'm not
ruins.
talking fight money. I'm talking money you just earn by doing this single player campaign thing, the world tour.
Just hope it's to that and not just hey.
There is one thing people did a little bit of detective work on the picture of the battle hub, and they noticed over on the left at the game center there are screens that show there is a cabinet for Street Fighter Alpha 2.
Ooh.
Oh, holy shit. I think I was onto something there. Wow.
Now, this might be Capcom's usual thing where they just dump an arcade cabinet of a random game to just sort of say hi. Because I think non-Street Fighter, didn't DMC Devil May Cry have something like that in its first stage where it had like Capcom cabinets of other Capcom games? So I'm saying it's something like that.
In the background?
Yes.
Oh yeah, kind of like what Mortal Kombat did with that one stage in MK11 and I think X.
You read my mind. I was just going to bring up that Mortal Kombat 11 had a retrocade stage with tons of like different arcade cabinets there. Obviously, you can't play them, but they are there for the sake of the environment, which there was a Primal Rage cabinet in a game released in the 21st century that broke my heart. But I'm saying I think you might be onto something. Maybe Capcom could open up that open world a little more. The little kind of throw us a bone. I would like that very much. But me personally, with this world tour, I don't want it to stop with just walking around town, meeting random faceless NPCs, and fighting with them to get your street experience. I would love this world tour mode more if there were noteworthy Street Fighter characters to interact with. Like, I can see the game is inspired heavily by the Conquest mode from the Mortal Kombat series. You have this open environment you can run around in with timed events that play out, but as far as I'm concerned, half the potential fun of this is getting dropped into the Street Fighter universe with all of its characters, even if some of those characters don't get invited to the initial main roster. Give me cameos, give me side stories, give me something that fleshes this mode out, because right now, I'm going to be harsh. Right now, I look at this world tour and I'm expecting the bare minimum level of interaction. And that's just my thoughts on the world tour mode in general. Anyone else?
I think that got everything out of the way.
Yeah. So I have nothing to
I'm
add
gonna
to
mention
that.
one more thing about it also.
Sure thing.
That it reminds me of Streetwise. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep bringing that up. I really enjoyed that game.
Didn't Streetwise have a Final Fight 1 game in it?
Yeah, I think so.
It had a quote unquote arcade mode.
Mm-hmm. Where you get to play with, I think, the main three plus Kyle.
Yep, you can also play the original fight. You can also unlock the original arcade Final Fight 1 on it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me of when you had the terrible Narc game on PS2 that had the original Narc. Like, you'd rather be playing that over the one you're playing now.
Mm-hmm. I think it would be really cool though, like as someone mentioned before, like as your create a character, avatar, whatever. And I assume it's probably not going to be much customization, or that you can accumulate experience points and then customize your character to your liking. But what I think would be really cool is if you do get to interact with some of the characters that are in the game, like on the main roster, and some of the characters that are not on the roster. Like, for example, like, you know, you could run into Yin and Yang while walking around, or you could run into, like, I guess if you're going to Metro City, you would probably hang out with, like, Hugo, or you'd probably run into Poison, probably. I'm trying to think of other characters who probably wouldn't be in the game, but you can run into them.
Lucia.
Carlos.
Lucia, oh, she'll be
Like you
around.
go to the police station and you
Roxanne?
see.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like you can
Carlos.
go to like
Oh,
the
Carlos would be awesome.
you can
I
go to
think
the
Carlos
metro.
playable.
You could go to the Metro City mayor's office and you see Guy and Cody there.
Mm-hmm.
Would be cool to see Guy again.
Yeah, and I want to see what Cody looks like in the RE engine. That's just me.
Yeah, well, that's another thing to discuss for the leak section.
Yep, we're
That's later, yeah.
we are almost there. But for now, we need to get into the boring part of the discussion, the gameplay mechanics, the system mechanics, and there are a lot of them. I think
think
Street Fighter
overwhelmed.
6 I think Street Fighter 6 makes it very clear that we're going to emphasize the crap out of risk versus reward. And as a result, I lack a less rude or crude term for this. We are devolving into meter porn. I'm already looking at the website for Fighting Ground, and they have 5 different system mechanics, and they are all centered around this drive meter. The description: the engine that powers the drive system is available as soon as the round begins. If you spend your entire drive gauge, you enter a burnout state with big disadvantages, but it also replenishes automatically, making meter management a key to the fight. So what do you guys think of this drive gauge? And then we'll get into what it can actually do for you.
Well, I'm hoping that as long as they make it balanced, it's okay. Like you said, when you activate this overdrive at the beginning of the round, you you probably gain speed or gain strength, but you lose defense, or you lose striking speed or something. I'm also thinking they might have some kind of like counterattack system. I don't know if you saw this in the gameplay trailer at State of Play, where it's like, I think you see Ryu and Chun Li like swapping punches and kicks, and it had this cool little slow down water color effect.
Yes, it's called drive parry, which is done by holding down medium kick and medium punch, and continuously depletes the drive gauge until buttons are released.
Okay, yeah, as long as that's done good, that means I could use my fight
I
pad
think-
when I play this.
So I'm not sure what this means. If an incoming attack is parry, the character will repel the foe's attack, and some of their drive gauge will be replenished. So does that mean the attacker gets their drive gauge back?
I think that's pretty much inferred. You get rewarded for using it.
Yeah, and I remember some people analyzing the footage saying it comes out at 1 frame, but that could be exaggerating. So
Now, is the drive gauge going to be the same as your super move gauge, or is that its own gauge?
It's its own gauge.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay, good.
Like, the drive meter is right below your health bar. It's the green thing with like 6 pellets. Is it 6? I think it might be 6.
I might have to look at it later on if anyone's got
Yeah.
It's between 5 and 6, depending on the character. I'm assuming.
Oh, so it is character dependent.
Yeah, because Luke has 6 and Jamie has 5.
Okay, I see him.
All right. But yes, drive parry. You automatically repel an opponent's attack and replenish drive when performed successfully. But that's not all. They have a perfect parry. You parry just before an opponent's attack hits you, which makes me wonder exactly how active drive parry actually is. And On top of that, we have another parry altogether. It's called Drive Impact.
Yeah.
It's a powerful strike that can absorb an opponent's incoming attack. It's the move you do when they absorb like 1 or 2 hits, and then when they hit the opponent, they splash into like watercolor paint.
So is it like Shatter Strike in KOF 15?
It sounds similar, but this one actually has some armor behind it.
So,
not
so
again.
it's basically like, oh shit.
Go ahead.
So it's like basically focus attack, but you're just using meter for it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it seems to be.
It seems to be focus attack with like a bit more durability behind it.
Yeah, like the drive gauge definitely gives you a lot of like options for sure. And probably learning how to parry and when to punish is probably going to be a key thing for Street Fighter 6. But
I honestly do not like parry in Street Fighter 3. I know it is a big deal to people, but to me, that says that the Fireball game is going to take a back seat.
yeah, like
Because when you throw a fireball in third strike and your opponent is on the ball, it's like, hey, num num, more meter for me.
yeah.
And then comes Street Fighter 5, where everybody has like probably more than 2 different ways to either repel a fireball, reflect a fireball, negate a fireball. I could go on. But this
Yeah.
has me concerned for the Fireball game, assuming it even exists.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to wait and see once people get their hands on the game,
Yeah.
or at least more than just like an actual beta. Also, I believe someone confirmed that DPs are only invulnerable or only invincible with EX meter. So Street Fighter 5.
Speaking of, there is new terminology to understand. They're not EX moves anymore. They are overdrive, OD moves.
So instead of EX Tatsu, you say OD Tatsu.
OD Tatsu. You
What's
press
the
2. You press 2 of the same button type instead of 1 when performing a special
Okay.
move to turn it into an overdrive art. These are the same attacks as EX special moves in past games.
Oh, so it's the same shit.
Yep, because
yeah.
honestly, what would Street Fighter be without EX moves?
I mean, now is that gonna
EX
come
layer.
from? Now is that gonna come from the overdrive gauge, or is that gonna come from the super gauge like the other
It,
gauge?
it comes from the drive meter. It says it costs 2 pellets.
So wait, what uses up the super gauge then? Just supers?
Probably supers.
Oh,
And speaking of
that's
supers,
definitely way different.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
speaking of supers, if I'm not mistaken, they brought back a familiar mechanic from the Alpha series where they have levels 1, 2, and 3 supers.
That is correct.
Ooh.
Like we have level 1
That
Ryu,
mechanic- Yeah.
like we have Shinku Hadoken, and then his level 2 Hadoken, and then his EXDP, like
Then
his
his le-
DP.
and then his level 3, which this is probably, in my opinion, the only mechanic I like that is coming back, because whenever I play Alpha, it's like my favorite mechanic out of the entire Street Fighter series, other than Third Strike's
Hell yeah.
Parry.
I think they also did that in Capcom versus SNK as well.
Yeah, because they were
Yeah.
taking it from Alpha, the A groove.
Right, and I believe they did. Didn't they do that in Darkstalkers as well?
No.
Okay.
Not only that, but if you do your level 3 when you're at, I think it's 25% health, it turns into its own unique super.
Oh,
like a desperation attack.
So kind of like Tekken, where you get where they do more damage.
Kind of your rage art.
Yeah, and I think it turns your level 1s into level 2s or something like that.
But this is definitely more of a montage video waiting to happen.
Yeah,
I would really be surprised if it's common. It's a common state where you not only are in a position where you're in low health, but you have your level 3 ready to go. Your critical overdrive art, if you will, or whatever they're going to call their super moves. But it's apparently not just defensive moves. We have drive rush. You know, in the trailer when Ryu was glowing green and he dashed forward?
That's what that is.
That's drive rush. You perform a quick rush forward from a drive parry or a cancelable normal. But there is a difference in cost depending, because if you drive rush from a parry, it costs 1 drive stock. If you drive rush from a normal attack, it costs 3. So it seems to be an FADC. But that's just my perception of it.
Here's my I want to ask like an extra question. Will they have a mode where you could go all insane crazy instead of just they let you choose between these specific mechanics or limits?
Well, you're kind of getting this all at once. Do you think it should be like a pick and choose?
Yeah, like as a mode, not doesn't have to be. Okay. Say if you want to just play a match where you could only use the familiar alpha super mechanics and that's it.
Well,
as a mode.
You probably could. But it seems like this drive system's kind of here to stay. And speaking of alpha, we kind of have alpha counters.
Oh.
We call them drive reversals.
Oh yeah.
At the cost of 2 drive stock, you perform a counterattack while blocking an opponent's attack. The damage is low, but it can help you out of tight situations when you're being pressured.
Okay.
Yeah, but it does take you do have to use up a bit of drive meter, but I guess so that the game doesn't become too defensive.
As long as I'm happy with that, as long as I could build those drive meters back up, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the rate in which this drive system regenerates. I don't know. When I started reading this, I felt like, it's just more shit to memorize. And I do admit, one of my problems when I play Street Fighter is tunnel vision. When I'm focused, I'm not really paying attention to meter gain or any of that stuff, especially in Street Fighter V, because your V gauge goes up and it's a huge part of your character. So this just seems more like a distraction, something to kind of distract you and take your mind off from the fighting, because if you're looking for one of these mechanics to save you or extend your combo or get out of pressure and they're not there, it'll be too late.
It's just more stuff for me to study.
Yeah, I just kind of wish Street Fighter would have put the brakes on all of this, because it seems to be sort of overwhelming.
That's exactly how I feel, overwhelmed by a lot of the gauge talk.
I sound like a damn Street Fighter 2 stan when I say this, because I just like having my health bar, and that's it.
And that's why I asked if they're gonna have a mode where the only mechanic is just the alpha mechanics, and that's it. But the only way we'll find out if all these mechanics will even work is, this is me guessing, when Evo is happening, and they'll probably announce a beta for it, and we'll find out from there.
Yeah,
they'll show off some game. Maybe they'll show off more gameplay.
I will agree, Street Fighter V did get a bit overwhelming once you had to remember stuff like V reversal, V shift, and know when to use your V skill and V trigger.
I mean, we've seen enough of gameplay. We need ourselves to play it to as the final say to how we actually feel about those mechanics. Because watching a gameplay and playing it itself, totally different things.
Mm-hmm.
Different worlds.
And I would like to point out, I didn't have a problem with this back in Street Fighter 4.
Right.
Because then you just had your focus attack, and you had your EX moves, and you had your ultra combo, and you knew when that was active. Nothing really distracted you. It all just sort of became second nature. I didn't get that feeling with 5 and its V smorgasbord. And I have a feeling the exact same thing is going to happen in Street Fighter 6. But though this is just sort of my skepticism talking.
Yeah.
So, anyone else have any thoughts on the general gameplay mechanics of Street Fighter 6?
This is probably gonna be a hot take here, but I hope another thing that they lift from Alpha is giving the characters more than just one super move.
Well,
I mean,
we have 3 supers, I think.
Yeah, we do.
Like, I think Guile had, like, Sonic Hurricane and then another one.
Yeah, but is it like you pick one from the menu, like in Street Fighter 4
No.
or something?
No.
Oh,
They're
okay.
all part of the movie.
What it actually is the super that comes out corresponds with the meter you have. It's not like you have Sonic Hurricane level 1, but then you have Sonic Hurricane level 3. Each super has a meter cost.
Oh, okay. I think I get what you're saying now. Okay, I'm fine with that then.
I mean, if I could figure out like all the V shift and all the V, like you say, the V smorgasbord in 5, I can figure out this like all the gauges and all that stuff. I mean, it looks like it's pretty complicated right now, but that's only because I'm seeing it from the outside. I think if I were to get the game in my hands and actually go into practice mode and play with it, I think I could figure it out pretty quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the beta announcement, that's all.
Same here,
It's
man.
very colorful. I like that at least.
Yeah.
So, if there is nothing else,
Nope.
gentlemen,
Mhm.
ladies,
Mhm.
as residents of Metro City, we have seen things that we weren't supposed to see.
Oh, so it's that time?
It's that
Here we go.
time. We really do have to address the gigantic dulcim elephant in the room. It's going row, row, row. It's roaring across the arcade, and we cannot ignore it any longer. So, hours after
Hold on.
Street Fighter 6 was put about, and this is your spoiler warning, by the way, everybody.
Yeah, if you don't want to hear spoilers, this is the perfect time to mute the video right now. Or just skip it to the outro.
Hours after Street Fighter 6 was shown at State of Play, there was this art that sort of went around of characters looking awful familiar. It was concept art. Seeing as this is a Capcom game, it wouldn't be a Capcom game if there weren't leaks. And I'm not talking about leaks, I'm talking about a goddamn flood. What we're going to do right now is we're going to go over every character that is in this leak. And I know what you're thinking. This is some sensitive information. But here's my counter. This is concept art. Concept. That means that things can change over time. These characters might not even exist by the time the game comes out. Did everyone forget King Cobra was a concept character? This badass man with with cool robes, with this chocolate candy looking motherfucker, and he got turned into Rufus.
Oh, so that's how we know of Rufus.
Yep, he became Rufus.
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember that. That's horrible.
But
Yeah.
anyway, we're going to go through these characters one by one, and I've presented the images appropriately. Whether or not we put them on screen is at their discretion, but for now, we obviously have to go with the main boy, Ryu. What do you guys think of Ryu's overall look? Because he is actually a revealed character.
Well, I would like to say, just from his outfit alone, it reminds me of a sort of a specific alpha beta from the Street Fighter V image that we saw before the game was even announced back in 2000, I want to say 14 Sony event.
Yeah, 14.
Yeah. So the thought of, making it, bringing that either the outfit back or, making it more like the outfit from that alpha we never saw from Street Fighter V is a pretty good callback because I really like it. It fits on Ryu.
I like how he kind of looks. I like how he's got this, rugged look to him, like he's been through some shit and he's ready to just beat some ass. I also like how he's got a beard that kind of reminds me of like Kano or the brawny paper towel guy, which just makes me laugh. I don't know, for some reason.
Also, I could be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I also like how he's got that brown sash around his chest to tie him to his to the one to Oro. I think that's Oro's. I think the Oro wore that sash in Street Fighter 3.
So about that.
Yeah.
And these are the words from the game director of Street Fighter 6 himself. Yeah. Although Street Fighter 6 occurs after the Street Fighter 3 series, Ryu still feels that he's, quote, not there yet, end quote, though he seems to have gained some dignity. The way he wears the Buddhist robe is reminiscent of his master, Goken.
Oh,
it's not Oro-based like everyone thought it was.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, that clears that up, I guess.
Because this would require them acknowledging Street Fighter 3, you see.
Oh, okay, this is my fault. This is not from the prototype, but the body looks like the body of Ryu is definitely from the prototype. Continue.
So, is there any other thoughts on Ryu's new duds?
I mean,
Redfield.
I mean, it looks like he just wore the same training gi for like the past 30 years and never bothered changing.
Yep. The top finally came off. Ridiculously muscly.
Ryu hasn't had enough. He wants to go all out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's letting that beard hang as well.
I like the beard on him.
Speaking of which, the man next to him, Ken Masters.
Okay, my absolute favorite character and my heterosexual husbando. I'm feeling that he's gonna have some sad boy hours because I looked up some of the stuff in the leaks and how he's not training as good. His wife and son left him, I guess, and he's on his own, possibly homeless. I don't know, or he's just living off of all that money he's made. And then I saw about how they mentioned that he has on Mel's cog tags, which makes me think that a very dark thing could have happened. Either Mel served his tour of duty, just fine, and he decided to give his dog tag to his dad, or he died, and Ken's hanging on to it as a memento.
Well,
that's pretty dark.
Well, my good sir, I could confirm this real quick that story is all fake because we don't know what's actually behind the story of Ken, of what he looks like.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like something someone dug up. Okay, well I take back what I said then.
Yeah,
that story was debunked.
I was going to mention the supposed story leak in regards to Ken is on some hard times, but I'm of the general feeling that particular story link is not real.
For all we know, it could be worse. It could be where his son died instead. But
yeah,
Yeah,
just have
but
to,
even
we'll just have to find out.
but even then, I kind of don't want all the memes to go to waste because they were funny.
Yeah, the sad Ken memes.
Well,
I mean,
Oh,
he
God.
does have the look of hobo Terry Bogard.
She took the kids, Ryu.
I mean, he's definitely going Dante territory. Which my joke about it was that Ken was Dante if Dante had gotten with Trish, but you know now Ken and Dante are kind of going along the same path now, which usually what happens to Capcom men once they turn 40.
if that's the case. Ruben needs to come back as Ken.
Oh God, I'm
I hope
almost
so.
40.
Yeah, unless something comes up, I would imagine there'd be no reason for him not to come back.
Like, just from this general design, I do get the feeling that something happened to change Ken. Maybe Master Goken passed on, and Ryu and Ken are dealing with it in different ways. We don't necessarily have all the details.
I mean, didn't Goken die, but they just retconned it anyway?
I mean, when Goken appeared in Street Fighter 4, when he actually died for real this time, and not lol retcon.
Yeah, I thought he died before Alpha.
Yeah, like Akuma took him to Raging Demon Town, and Goken survived.
Yeah, that's how he explained he's alive, is that he was in a coma.
Oh, he survived and he ended up. That's how he ended up in 4. Okay.
Yeah.
But
I wonder how Goken's death would affect Ken, because Ken seems a little detached. Not detached, but like
He
led a
definitely
divergent path,
is more down on his luck.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, if you're noticing a pattern, Zangief,
Oh God.
I mean, he wears pants now.
he wears pants. They're nice pants.
He's
I
got
mean,
gloves
first-
on too. He's
I
got
mean,
big
first
gloves on.
Ryu wears shoes, and now Zangief wears pants.
Yeah, maybe he was inspired by Rainbow Mika.
Or
Forgot.
maybe he joined another wrestling league, or maybe he joined like a sponsored wrestling league or something.
Hold on. For God's sake, give the man his green hand move back, please. I didn't like when they removed that in 5. Can you give that back to him?
Isn't that the one that blocks projectiles?
It deflects
so.
it.
It deflects, negates.
Deflects.
And that was an advantage he had, but Street Fighter 5, all he does is, just 360 grabs. And turtles sometimes, but I hope they bring that back for Zangief, because that was a whole different gameplay when you go from green hand Zangief to just turtle grab, midair grabs. Like, no, that's not him.
Like, it's a tool in his arsenal. If he doesn't have it, it's whatever. He has more than one way of getting in your face and driving your entire back, head, your own personal being into the mat.
He pile drives you straight to hell.
But yeah, that's Zangief. He's in the game. Okay.
Yeah, nothing much is known about him right now.
And since they are a package deal at this point, that means Dalsim is in the game. Nice facial hair, by the way, Dalsim.
He really doesn't look any different. Just has the big beard.
I mean, he already had a beard in Street Fighter 5, so yeah.
But it's far more noticeable, far more thrown out.
He's getting older. That's it.
Didn't he have a turban on in 5 or something?
Yes.
I think in one of his costumes, yeah.
His default, yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If
Don't
these are
worry.
default costumes and he's not, then I guess he got rid of it or something. Makes his head look cooler, I guess.
Don't worry. They'll probably add in the World Warrior costumes where he doesn't have to do.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
Nothing much known about Dalsim, but yeah, he got a beard now.
Yep. It's probably going to be the same for the next character because E-Honda is here.
He got it.
At least he's no longer DLC.
Right.
Oh, God.
First time
Not a
in
menace.
like first time since what? Vanilla Street Fighter 4 since we've had the World Warriors all back.
Yep.
Yep. At
Mhm.
least they did all this for 6 this time. For E Honda, this outfit is a bit different than what would you usually see from E Honda.
I like
Yeah.
it.
I assume he's still a sumo though.
Of
Right.
course.
That's kind of his deal. Hey, sumo's awesome. I gotta spread the word. Also, come to my bathhouse.
Yeah, his outfit's actually pretty cool looking now. I
Yeah.
think does he have? No, he had sandals on last time. I'm sorry.
So, if you haven't noticed by now, yes, the original 8 are back, but we're just going through the not previously knowns, like Blanca, for example.
Like
Oh, that- well,
he's wearing
time to wait
chains
for
and concept art. So did he get captured or was it part of training?
And
Who knows?
he's still got the anklet.
Yeah, and if Blanca's there, I imagine Dan will be mentioned.
But he's got like a little bandana on too. My grandma had a
Well-
dog with a bandana just like that on his neck.
Maybe it's for when he eats his like fruit.
Yeah. Other than that, I guess he looks cool. It's kind of, though I can't really see all the details on it. They're going kind of like a little bit of a minimalist thing with Blanca, which I'm okay with because that's just Blanca.
Well, in Street Fighter 5, you had Blanca with the more crazy hair.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they bring back Blanca Chun.
No.
Why not?
Nah, you know why not.
Hitbox issues.
Can you imagine Blanca-chan and RE engine?
No.
No, you can't.
No.
Don't jinx it. Capcom will do it if they want to.
But do you know who we don't have to imagine in RE engine? Guile.
Because
The
you
American
actually,
hero.
because we saw him in the trailer.
We saw
Yeah.
him at Summer Games Fest.
I think I don't know if you can see it, but I think like maybe the difference between the concept art is that he has facial hair.
Yeah,
I mean-
he looks like he's going to Flavor Town with that beard. I just want to point that
mean,
out.
We did see that as well in the trailer. Now, just put that sunglasses and we'll be fine. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I love Guile's Street Fighter 6 design, just dumping any instance of his usual green camo and going for a more of a blue uniform. It could also probably double as a hoodie, in which ain't no hoodie in the world gonna cover that hair.
Just fix those goddamn eyes.
I like
That's-
an aviation
that's
kind of
fine.
design too.
I mean, Guile's face is an improvement from the one we had in Street Fighter 5.
Oh yeah, of course.
His
I'm just saying-
classic look with like, the caveman jaw and the dead eyes.
Yeah, and and I guess he has a new move where he does like a straight punch.
Yeah.
I
That's
thought
a
he
big,
always had a straight punch. What's the difference?
I thought it was like a special move.
But Guile will continue to Sonic Boom into the new world of Street Fighter.
Yeah, he does have some pretty good combos in the trailer.
Speaking of combos,
I have a feeling with the next character, unless we're done talking about Guile.
Oh, yeah, one other thing is they seem to bring back, I think they brought back his V-Trigger 1. Well, they incorporated it in some way in 6.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
multiple Sonic
multi-Sonics.
yeah.
Mhm. Oh, I saw
Yeah.
those and I screamed.
Yeah, and seeing Guile here in RE Engine is just wild to think.
They managed to perform miracles. But Guile's looking really good. Benefits of RE Engine, best he's ever looked in a long time.
And, okay, well, now there's the star, the character everyone's been talking about aside from Ryu, Chun.
I have a feeling I'm going to be shutting up for the next 5 minutes. Surprise! There would have been riots in the Metro City streets if that character was not in the game. Chun Li.
I think she looks amazing in this. I really like how her new dress kind of accentuates how she's she's finally improved and moved on, because I think it's confirmed that Bison's finally dead and now she's ready to kind of do her own thing. She might now are they still saying if she's still like with Interpol or something?
We
No, I
don't
think she
know yet.
retired.
Okay, that's probably why she's looking like this now. And even though I really liked her classic look the most, I hope I like this outfit. I do hope they bring the classic look back as like a alt costume, but
Oh.
I like this. I like this a lot.
Also, Riot's Rat. Have we learned from Street Fighter 3 where there was not going to be, at one point there was not going to be Ryu, Ken, or Chun Li? Those
Capcom
three alone.
learned.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
They learned big time.
Because no one was going to play Street Fighter 3 without the main three. Let's be honest.
Mhm.
If they
Yeah,
weren't
that's why
even
it flopped.
remotely be in this game, Street Fighter 6, who would play the game?
Exactly.
Yep.
Capcom tried to correct that problem real quick. There were voice files even as far back as Second Impact that had general female pouts that sounded really similar to either Chun Li or Makoto. Characters that were both added to Third Strike. But yes, I think that this is the best Chun Li has ever looked.
Yeah, and it's a nice way to advance the series.
And to complement her more mature look, we have words from game director Nakayama. Ever since Shadowloo's fall, Chun-Li has gained a more philosophical perspective. She now wears a white-based outfit that inherits the traditions from the series, but is elegant and easy to move in. She lives life in a calm but radiant manner.
Yeah, and I think it's likely that she's taking care of Li Fen.
Yeah. That's the other thing that was in the trailer. Chun-Li was sparring with this little girl with blocky headphones. The girl is clearly picking up off of Chun-Li.
Her hair that looks like Chun-Li.
Kind of like the Third Strike ending, where Chun-Li was training this girl that she might have saved in Street Fighter V, and she's grown up, and I swear to God, make Li Fen playable, Capcom.
Yes, please. Yes, that's what I said when they showed that trailer.
Yeah, they're gonna make her DLC, or maybe who knows? Maybe there's like a character we haven't seen yet.
I mean, you know what? DLC is better than not being playable at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the fact that that character was flaunted for like 10 seconds in the State of Play trailer tells me that feedback is reaching Capcom and they're saying, oh shit, we got to shove this character into the game. We're missing out.
I feel like she'll have some of...
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like she'll have some of like Chun-Li's original moves as well. Like some of the moves that were omitted from like Alpha or so. Like, I mean, if there's any like previous moves that Chun-Li had in like Alpha and 2, Li Fen will have some of them.
Yeah, hopefully Chun-Li won't be a charge character for fireballs. I like those better straight up.
We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, did they say if Guile was a charge character?
They didn't say, but more likely he's probably still charged.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will tell you what she is based on gameplay. She's a stance character.
Yep, she has a stance now.
Oh, JoJo will like that.
And yeah, Ryu also has an install as well.
Oh, that's interesting.
Stance? I'm
so
like, what, she changes stance and it changes her moves like Gen.
There is a move where Chun-Li kind of crouches down into this low stance, and according to information, depending on the button you press, she does a different move. It seems to be more reminiscent of the stances of Ling Xiaoyu in Tekken.
Oh wow! Sounds like Chun-Li's gonna have a lot of moves to her. Damn.
She's gonna have some good buttons again.
But yeah, I really like her outfit. Like I like how like the leggings part of it, like the bottom is kind of like reminiscent of Alpha, and I like how she still has like the sleeve from her classic, but like the white dress is really, it's like it's more serene. It's like shows that she's aged and that she's that she's moving on. But what I really noticed about her though is the bracelets are different. Like when she wore those spikes, it was kind of like, well, she was still tied on to her fate, still tied on to her past. And now that she's moved on from it, her bracelets and she broke the chains. So now they're different.
Yep, I definitely agree that this is a design that started with Alpha, but then they realized, wait, we got to do something new. We got to make a new dress.
It's like they combined both the Alpha and classic costumes in a way, because like it's got her Alpha hair buns, the Alpha pants, and the classic dress that's sort of similar to her classic dress. It's just a different color and different design, but still all flowy and stuff.
I will call this a MILF Master Lee.
I mean, there's enough talk on Twitter about how gigantic her ass is, so.
I thought it was just people talking about her thighs.
Well, her thighs too, but.
Yep. Yeah, like, there's
I mean, it wouldn't
definitely
be
a
Chun Li
lot of
without
talk.
it.
I'm just sitting here shaking my head and I'm nodding my head. We're stroking my chin.
I'm glad you said chin.
Like, you know, like Epic's thinking about adding Street Fighter 6 Chun to Fortnite.
No.
They
Stop.
could. They
Stop.
could.
Please, no.
Please. Stop.
So yeah. Next is is a character that actually had a bit of controversy with Cammy.
Speaking of Fortnite characters, yep. Cammy's in the game and she has leggings and pants. How dare you, Capcom? I am not buying this game anymore. This game is trash, and I think I'm done.
Like, people were actually legit mad that she had pants and said they were going woke,
Before people was being upset, there was a leaked gameplay for Cammy that yes, her legacy costume with the leggings will be in the game, so people can stop crying about it. Damn it!
Yeah, like crazy to think that a game that takes it to the streets, Cammy would wear something more casual.
Pretty much.
I do like her new outfit though. I do like her new outfit a lot. How she looks like she's more dressed in more casual clothes, though she still has the big gloves on.
Yeah. And her hair got shortened.
I think I still see a pigtail on the back there.
But
that's her jacket.
Oh, that's her jacket? Okay. Maybe she
and funny enough, people said, oh, she looks like Blue Mary now.
Personally, I don't really think it's not a big deal about her wearing pants, and she wore pants in Final Fight Streetwise.
Right.
Yep. I mean, it's just a more casual look. Obviously, she's not going to go full camo with no pants.
I mean, I would imagine the yoga pants are tight enough, so if people are complaining, they can still see her ass pretty well.
Yeah.
Her ass is part of her character, after all.
Yeah. The super. I saw the super, and they looked really cool. They're
She
definitely
actually-
going.
She actually has more of an ass than 5.
While we are at it, I saw that leaked footage too. A minor side question: is anyone worried that the supers are going to be a little long?
I mean,
Yeah,
as long
that's
as they freeze the timer and not be a Street Fighter 4 situation where it eats up the timer, then I don't mind.
Like, it seems similar to her Street Fighter 5 Super, but her Street Fighter 5 Super was over in half the time of this. There's a lot of cinematic shots and focusing on Cammy just sort of hanging out against the wall for a couple seconds before she dashes in for the Super. I just feel like these Supers are going to drag out.
Yeah. But how would you feel if they didn't, like, take up time in the timer?
I mean, yes, freezing the timer is paramount here. You don't want a cross-second situation. Because Supers did not freeze the timer in that game.
So that would create a lot of problems.
Yeah, but Cammy's overall design, if she didn't have like the leather jacket, I would not like it as much. It seems like an outfit where she's fresh out of the gym. So we got to give her something standard. Got to have the midriff and all that. But it's a fine outfit. She still has the cami gloves, so it's not a complete overhaul.
Yeah, it's just casual cami.
So,
All
any
right.
other thoughts on cami?
I mean,
It's
Ooh.
Abby.
I want to see more.
And yeah, that about covers it. That's the character you expect to be in a Street Fighter game.
Now hold on, Rad. You don't mind if I go with the next introduction of this character?
Oh, sure thing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you may know, if you all heard of the World Warriors, I would like you to introduce the returning from a familiar series known as Super Street Fighter 2 and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, the Jamaican kickboxer himself, DJ. Yes, he is back, and from what we could see, he has a bit of a small afro there.
I love this DJ design. He is colored in the Jamaican flag, the crazy
He's
hair.
representing. and I
It's
love it.
all very in character. I don't think DJ was in anyone's. I don't think he was on anyone's bingo card.
Nope.
Yeah, he
I
looks
mean-
awesome. He looks really good. This is probably
Yeah,
the best I've ever seen him.
Yeah, they definitely went full Jamaican on him, so it's fine. Hopefully, they actually make him good this time and not mediocre.
When was the last time he was mediocre? Street Fighter 4?
Yeah, he was good in Super Turbo.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
true.
I don't know about Alpha though.
Well, Alpha 3 he was only in the console version of that, and that's not really the competitive standard.
Yeah,
that was there.
they play arcade, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Although Alpha, yeah.
Hopefully hopefully with Guile being in the game, they make him like kind of like a strong competitor to him.
I would really like to. The one thing I have concerns of with DJ is he still a charge character?
Yeah.
Because if you guys remember Omega Street Fighter 4,
He
they
was
gave
not.
DJ quarter circle inputs for all his moves practically.
I mean, we had Nash go from a charge character to quarter circle, so it might happen the same to him.
And when they did that, Nash became the most broken character in Street Fighter 5 Season 1, even through all the hot mess that game was dealing with.
Yeah, he was definitely strong in Street Fighter 5. DJ being strong in Street Fighter 6, I don't see a problem.
Yeah.
Nope,
Hopefully.
Go ahead.
But we'll have to wait and see.
I'm all for him being strong. I
That man
liked
about
him.
to
I like
be-
playing him in Omega Street Fighter 4, and I'm definitely gonna look forward to playing him in 6.
That man about to be broken in Season 1 of Street Fighter 6, if it's true. If he's
Yeah.
not a charge character.
Also, so on to the next one. What do you
Yep.
guys think of Rashid coming back? I mean, he was very
Yes.
popular in 5, so it was a
He had to.
no-brainer.
He had to come back. He was people's favorite new characters in terms of when the game launched for Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, Rashid was pretty funny. I liked him. He was real easy to use. I'm cool with him.
In terms of his new design, I mean, it's not bad. They're still kind of keeping it in line with his original look. Hopefully they still keep him the same in terms of gameplay with being mobile and using wind moves.
Was that on his chest? Is that like a scar?
It
Or is
seems
that
to be a tattoo.
It's either
Okay.
a tattoo or like a. I thought it was like
No,
a-
I think it's like a belt or
something.
strap.
Or belts.
It's not a chest hair, right?
No.
No.
Definitely
it
not.
Mm-mm.
definitely
Yeah.
not.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
DJ also has like jewelry now, so he probably got more money than Ken now.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's when we start
Wow.
talking about Ken.
Isn't he like a
Shots fired.
traveling? Isn't he like a traveling DJ? That's why his name's DJ.
I think so. I think he runs like a dance club or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a Billy Blanks.
So maybe he just sold a ton of records and got rich.
That
Or maybe
would
he's
be
hanging out
interesting.
with Rashid because Rashid's like super rich too, and I feel like maybe them two would be like buddies or so.
Yeah. I mean,
I wonder if that's why they're so close together on this list.
Yeah,
No, that's a
but
possibility.
Well,
Rashid's cool. Yeah, glad he's back.
yeah, to me, Rashid makes the most sense to be in a Street Fighter game because Rashid's basically in not Facebook with everyone else, judging by his story, judging by Shadow Falls. So he keeps in touch. He's definitely a member of the Street Fighter family. His popularity definitely helps insert him into Street Fighter 6, and I'm curious to see how he plays as well, because he was absolutely off the wall bonkers in 5 in terms of mobility.
In fact, he was so popular, he was recently added in the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 mod, the EX mod.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll see him officially in a versus game, but we'll have to wait.
Okay, so
Yeah,
thank you, Capcom. Thank you, Capcom community, for demonstrating that you gentlemen are the peak of good taste. Because Jury is also in Street Fighter 6.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
she
a
looks
no-brainer.
nice.
Like, you know how insanely popular she is? She won, like,
Oh,
both
yeah.
costume contests.
Since
Like-
since
But
since
like
her
nobody was
introduction to-
playing. Oh, it made no sense for her to win both.
I mean, a few people were playing her, but yeah, she wasn't exactly the best character, and she was kind of low tier. But
Mhm.
people loved her design, and she got a ton of costumes. And
Jury is definitely one of those characters that her popularity transcends the tier list.
Yep,
yeah, her
ever since Street Fighter
popularity has kind of reached mainstream. Like hell,
I
think
heard
they were
season 5 was nice to her though.
like
Or
C
season,
Viper.
yeah.
Like C Viper was more of a rival to Chun than Jury, but because of her popularity exploding, they kind of shifted gears.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple of general thoughts on Jury at large. Who is she affiliating with? Because she was pretty much in Urian's gang in Street Fighter V, and she's fresh off of Seth in Street Fighter 4.
I want to say Cammy, but I'm not sure because remember Street Fighter 5, she took she took Cammy with her in the ride, but
My
Anything can
other
happen.
concern is a gameplay concern. What Jury are we going to get?
Yeah, like, are we gonna get completely different Jury from 5 or back to basics from 4?
Yeah, because Jury was my main in Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4 at least. I loved playing as her, the dive kick, the counter, the fireball store mechanic, the pinwheel of death that I will never not use on Wake Up.
What about 5?
The ideal character that got me through Street Fighter 4.
And
5, I don't
all-
even recognize you anymore.
Yeah, she's like completely different there because now she has to charge her moves. She has like a stance, and yeah.
Not a quick mention, she had the worst theme in Street Fighter 5 out of all the characters.
That was a theme.
I didn't even know what her theme was because I don't have Street Fighter 5 background music when I play, so
Yeah.
Jury in Street Fighter 5 was a character that took too much work to be consistent with.
Yeah, like, and even the top players only used her as like a counter pick or something.
I do like her design in this concept art, though. She looks really good.
I
Oh,
wish
she
she
looks great.
had. I wish she had a bit more going on with the top. Like it's just the spider straps covering her chest and the sort of bottomless vest or whatever you've got going on. Like the Street Fighter 4 look with the spats, that's fine, but we got to talk about that top, girl. It ain't working.
I'm curious of how it's going to look in 3D because it looks like she's just kind of like painted over her boobs. Like,
Yeah, like people were mad about them taking away the horny in Street Fighter 5, so they're bringing it back.
It's very clear.
I mean, we'll see
We'll get
because
into
it looks
that.
like her chest got smaller.
We'll have to wait and see. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and speaking of Street Fighter Five,
Speaking of bringing the horny back, here's Ed.
I mean,
full chest and all.
Oh, Ren's character. Good to know.
I mean, they want to have. I mean, they got to appeal to everyone. Might as well be equal.
So here's the important thing in regards to Ed. He's still waving the Shadowloo flag, despite the fact that, as we have established, Shadowloo has fallen.
Maybe he wants to resurrect it somehow, or maybe he wants to be the new head honcho of it.
So is Ed carrying out this Neo Shadowloo thing? Are they actually going to follow up on something that was established in Street Fighter V?
Yeah,
Well, Ed be the new
Maybe.
Bison.
most likely Falca's going to be hanging around him too.
Right. But yeah, Ed's in the game. He was in Street Fighter 4. Did you remember?
I remember him vaguely in the ending for Balrog.
How he has grown. This is what I want with these background characters, for them to be fully fleshed out and become realized, actual new characters. This is what I want.
So, like Colleen from Third Strike to 5.
Exactly. God, why isn't Colleen in this game?
Right? I'm salty about that too.
Yeah, I know Colleen Riff. And but yeah, any other thoughts on Ed? You think they're gonna keep like the two like the simple commands he has, like pressing 2 buttons to do his specials or 3 for EX?
No, I think Ed's going to go through a complete rework. So be afraid. Be very afraid.
Yeah,
He's gonna be similar to Steve Fox now.
Like the only problem with Ed in 5 is that because of simple commands, they kind of had to adjust for that, so he wasn't that strong.
I really hope for Ed they give him some moves from Balrog, because Balrog did teach him the basics of boxing during that time period.
Yeah, maybe mixed martial arts, like he does like Balrog's like headbutt stun or like his V trigger too. I don't know. Like I could see him not. Like I could see him not playing fair like Balrog. But yeah,
I could see him getting dirty and being real arrogant about it. Yeah, that is totally in line with how I perceive Ed.
damn. But yeah, next one. I mean,
Ed being in the game is actually not surprising.
true, because he was being pushed as the next villain.
However, the next character next to Ed, it would actually piss me off if this character was DLC once again, because Season 2 Street Fighter V, they introduced the returning character of this character in Street Fighter V Season 2 as DLC, whereas another fighting game, Hello Tekken 7, where he was not only in the main story, but he was not DLC, he was in the main roster.
Yep.
The one and only Akuma.
Love his
And he's a
look in
lion
this.
again.
I mean, what would Street Fighter be without Akuma?
Yeah.
Right. I
Well,
love
he's
the-
probably still looking for another challenge.
Yep, he kind of resembles a lion in a weird way with that big red beard, and
Oh yeah.
he almost looks like he could look like Final Fantasy's Ifrit summon almost. I like it.
From the concept art we're looking at right now, he still has the lion look from 5.
Yeah, you think they're gonna keep him being a fruit salesman, a fruit merchant?
Yeah, I would think so.
What? Fruit merchant? I don't get it.
Yeah, he actually does that in like the Alpha series.
He had a job selling fruit? I didn't know that.
Yeah, imagine if you're exploring Metro City and you see Akuma selling fruit.
Like, you want these bananas? $5.
Take 1,000 fruits.
But yeah, but yeah, hopefully with Street Fighter 6 in terms of story, they kind of develop more between Ryu and Akuma. Since Akuma wanted him to like embrace Satsui no Hado.
I hope that that's the case. Evil Ryu comes back, and not as actual Evil Ryu, not what we got from 5, known as Kage, which they had to fix in the last update for Street Fighter V.
The hell was the point for Kage?
Had to fill a DLC slot somehow, I guess.
We ran out of
Probably.
ideas.
Kage was the most disgusting, washed down, like this terrible version of Evil Ryu. They could have just ported Evil Ryu from Street Fighter 4.
Yeah. But I bet you, no matter what game it is, Akuma's still going to be very strong.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like, even with all the nerfs in 5 and 4, you couldn't stop him.
Even Bandai's Tekken 7 learned that lesson. You nerf Akuma, he's still strong.
Well, it's like I always say, you can nerf the character, but you can't nerf the kit.
Yep. Like, obviously, we're probably going to see stuff like air fireballs, Tatsu, and all that come back.
Demon Flip.
Yep.
It wouldn't be Akuma without those
I
tools.
wonder if they'll incorporate some stuff from V-Trigger 2 where you could, like, cancel some of his specials into each other.
Now, this makes me wonder if like an Akuma, what are the what's the input for the Shungoku Satsu gonna look like if you're playing on the simplified controls? That's what I'm curious about.
Mash one button.
Oh.
Yeah. Mash the R1 button, probably.
Yeah, but
one button magic.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about like the simplified buttons, right?
They're whatever. I kind of figured.
Honestly, it reminds me of simple mode UMBC 3 where casuals can just mash and do easy specials. And honestly, I see it as like I guess like the simpler evil or whatever. I'd rather have that over auto combos, honestly.
I don't know if I was gonna mention it, but the fact that they had to confirm that it was an option, all I need for me is all I need to hear about not caring about this all those inputs, because if let's say I would have a bit of an issue if Street Fighter 6 was to say, hey, those auto inputs controls we showing off is like part of the main game and you cannot change it. That would be an issue, but since it's optional, I have no problem.
But yes, I was honestly not a fan of Lion King Akuma in 5.
Me neither.
I like him a lot more with the top knot, where he looks like Super Saiyan God with the red hair. I always liked that Akuma design. I feel like 5's design was a miss. At least with 6, they are definitely trying, but it seems like the hair is more behind the head rather than in front of it. So that's an improvement.
Should have gone with the concept with the kid on his back.
It would be weird to see Akuma become a guardian to someone.
Mm-hmm.
I still prefer his Tekken 7 look, where, a whole different engine in 3D and whatnot.
But it is cool to see that. Well, Akuma, is he really considered a bad guy, or is he, like, neutral?
He's a bad guy.
I would say he's more like chaotic neutral, I'd say.
I mean, his only real goal is he just wants to fight.
He's the anti-Ryu. He wants to fight, but it's how he fights, through violence. He killed a man.
He usually be the bad guy, but we know from Tekken 7, even he had a soft spot for a certain person.
He has a move that can potentially send you to hell.
Damn.
So take your soul straight out of your body and send it there.
What? But they never gave the motivation though for Tekken 7, like why he did what he did for that character.
I hope Tekken 8 would explain it if he's in that one.
I doubt it.
Yeah, they're probably just going to move on from him in Tekken 8.
That was a one-off. That gave people hope for Tekken Cross Street Fighter.
Which it did not.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
Yeah, so
those are the devils we know. Anyone else? Any final thoughts on Akuma?
He once fought a god, damn it. Bring that back. Put him in Street Fighter, Azura's Wrath.
All right, so
But
now we
go
get
on.
to the final row of characters. Those are the characters we know. This list, with the exception of our first entrant, seem to be brand new characters. And there's nobody more brand new than Luke.
Yep. I mean, they straight up said in the reveal he's like the future of Street Fighter, so no surprise.
He is the Street
He's the main
Fighter.
character.
He's
Yeah.
probably the main protagonist of this game.
Yeah,
like Chun
I
Li.
will
Yeah.
say his design's way better compared to 5, where they just made him look like Jake Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
This design is a massive fucking improvement over whatever the hell you had for his 5 design. That hair was ridiculous. He's
Yeah.
just a standard generic MMA man. And now in Street Fighter 6, he has this identity with the blue and orange contrasting colors. I love the look. He shows a lot more of his personality, where he's not a complete douchebag. I mean, partial, but I like Luke now. I'm on board.
Hadouken.
Yeah.
I
He's
really
basic-
like this design.
Yeah, basically he's the first Zoomer of Street Fighter.
And speaking of,
I love that.
And speaking of Luke, if anyone looked closely at his face in the Street Fighter 6 trailer, he has a
did,
scar
I'm
on
very
one of his
curious.
eye.
Yeah.
Like, who gave him
Scar
that
on his eye
scar?
and on his cheek, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. Makes
Like-
you
like-
wonder what happened for him
fucked
to get that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Someone
Ma-
probably fucked him up, but who?
There is
Based on his story, yeah, they said he doesn't fight anymore really. So what I'm thinking of is like maybe some injury got him like had to retire from the military. But I'm like, he's so young though. Like, what the hell injury could he have gotten that like made him?
a bruised ego.
Maybe he just
Probably.
got into a fight and just couldn't win.
Mm-hmm.
But that makes me second guess the words from game director Nakayama. Luke has had quite the experience after the events of Street Fighter V. He's someone who would rather fight others than focus on becoming stronger. Let's see how his mischievous personality has changed over time. His offensive fighting style remains intact.
Yeah.
So he's one to pick fights instead of just getting stronger.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's
So
going
something
to
definitely
have
happened to
the
him.
And I did notice one of his changes is he has a DDT now.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep. I
The
wonder
best
if his,
Street Fighter move.
I wonder if his moveset's gonna be simplified too, like in Street Fighter V, to where I could use him to teach my grandma how to play this game.
I mean, at first glance, Luke is simple, but he does have more nuance with how you have to charge certain moves to get certain combos off.
Yeah.
But
I'm definitely curious about the look though. Like, I mean, his background story in 5 is that like his dad got blown up and that made him want to join the military. Then he realized the military wasn't the place for him, so he wanted to be like a traveling MMA guy. Now it's like, okay, well now something happened to him in between 5 and 6. He's got scars all over. The braces are gone. I think the tattoos are gone, and he actually looks younger, as I mentioned before. He looks younger now than he does in 5. So I'm assuming, like I said, that he was not part of the time skip because he was like a preview character, more or less. So and maybe he got blown up too. Like maybe he got messed up in the explosion that. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe they're non-canonizing his story in 5 and they're putting the explosion between 5 and 6.
possibly
That could be one.
make the boy sympathetic, give him motivation, hide it behind a cocky exterior.
Mm-hmm.
That all works, but my opinion, give the boy some damn footwear.
Yes, please. That just looks so out of place.
I don't think Drill would complain about that.
Mm.
Hey,
I mean, a pair of boots, even.
We'll just have to see. Maybe you can buy them at the body shop in the Battle Hub.
I wish.
But then now we have an entire killer's row, if you will, of brand new characters. And this ties into my idea that this is concept art. Shit could change over time. One character could become entirely different. So I have no problem going through these characters as they are rather than what they will become at retail. Which leads me to our first character from Italy, Marisa. So there was a leak a couple of months ago from Verjaban, who had these descriptors down, and I sort of kept them with me because they were more on the money than anyone realized. Marisa, Italian wrestler woman with red hair and an MMA legionnaire look that wears black and gold. Baby, muscle is back. What do you guys think of Marisa?
I
He
think
looks
she
like
could
a
be.
dude.
Yeah, that's what I thought for a few minutes. I'll be honest, but
But
I'd say
yeah, she's probably a grappler.
yeah, she's probably gonna have a lot of command grabs. I thought she was gonna be like Muay Thai from like the shorts that she's wearing.
Or maybe this is like their way of incorporating Marduk from Cross Tekken into Street Fighter.
Right.
Or some kind of Sagat or something, or like the Sagat of the game.
Now, is she wearing like a helmet or something? What is that?
That's her hair.
It's her hair.
Oh,
That
I
had
thought
to
she
be
was
her
wearing
hair.
like a red helmet or something.
No, it's
Oh.
red hair.
And plus, wouldn't make sense for an MMA fighter to have a helmet.
Yeah, I was wondering that. It's like this. I don't know if it's because of the concept art, like being not so zoomed in, but it looked like a helmet to me.
Yeah, headgear maybe, but no, that's hair.
I'm sorry, that hair, I'm not feeling that hair.
Her
mean, it is-
portrait is actually in the State of Play trailer. When you get that first look at the not Times Square of Metro City, there's a poster for her.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right underneath the Gil poster.
Yep.
So yeah, either things could change, or she might actually. That's probably what she looks like.
Yep. I'm guessing Marisa's design is locked in. That's a
Mhm.
character we're getting no matter what.
Yeah,
Does anyone else have a question? Have thoughts about Marisa?
I mean,
I feel like I am going to be terrified whenever I see her on the Versus screen.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Th-
cry.
This feels like a character that's gonna mix you up with grabs and other setups.
Like
So
I've played Grand Blue, so I get the same feeling whenever I see La Diva. Like,
Yeah,
I am about to get my shit pushed in by this woman.
Yeah, well, pre-patch, I get you.
Either that, or she's probably a mix of grappler and MMA style.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying Marduk from
Mhm.
Cross Tekken. I think that's kind of like what he had. It was like command grabs and all those sort of stuff.
So then the character next to her is a character that we've become very familiar with because he was included in the State of Play trailer, Jamie.
Yeah,
I think he looks awesome.
drunken fighter, and he has an alcohol level.
Right.
Is
It looks like.
he-
It
is
looks
he-
like.
I'm sorry,
sorry.
go ahead.
I was gonna say it looks like he's kind of having that gimmick that the drunken guy from Virtua Fighter had, where you could take a drink from the bottle and you get you get different moves or enhanced moves or something. I like that concept.
Will he be the next Yun and Yang?
Funny you should say that. According to the leak, Jamie is related to Yun and Yang.
Oh well, there's there it is.
Yun and Yang's cousin from Hong Kong, wears yellow, uses drunken fist style. From the leak, from the Verjaban leak.
So he's related to one of the characters then in Street Fighter, like the very first Street Fighter. I think they said Lee was his father.
Yep, I think they're also related to Gen.
Yeah.
Are they? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I think Gen was like Yun and Yang's grandfather or something.
Oh, I have to look that up again.
I can't remember that for sure, but
Yeah.
There's
Ja-
always Google.
If Jamie has words courtesy of game director Nakayama again. Jamie is Luke's rival. His breakdance and drunken boxing moves are reflected in his outfit and hairstyle. If you look closely, you can see that the pattern on his clothes are original. He's also particular about his shoes.
What the hell?
Yeah, so he's probably the type of person to buy Jordans when they're announced.
Probably.
Reminds me of Guy, kind of like with his thing with, I believe he wore Nike. Was he Nike or Adidas?
Jordan was Nike.
No. Guy was he?
Yeah, Guy definitely had some brand name shoes.
Yeah, because I remember that was like particular about his character too.
It's probably a made up brand.
Mm-hmm.
But everything I've seen in gameplay in relation to Jamie, he's going to be a pain in the ass to use. And the people who are going to use him are going to basically run the meta for a couple of months.
Minus 400 people are going to use Jamie.
You have his drinking mechanic, and you have the level 2 super where he just takes 2 drinks instantly. You have his level 5 drink where his hair comes down. And that means he gets a new critical art on top of another critical art. There's a lot more to this character. I believe he is target combo based.
Yeah, I think one of my friends on Twitter was saying that, like, he has a huge list of target combos. He looks like he's
Ramless all players, you have found your main.
I better go tell my friend about that because he plays Ram.
So we have a ton of descriptions for Jamie. It's the character next to him that we don't. This French woman named Mimi, basically described as female able.
That should be interesting.
Because I played able in 4.
Yeah, he has like the turn of direction and also the command grab, right?
That's kind of all I have.
Mm-hmm.
Just quote female able.
We'll see if there's a relation in there too, because I know Abel was supposed to be another body for Bison, and he was part of the what the hell did they call that in 4? Where he was like the side body next to Seth.
I know what I would call him, a wasted slot.
Well, yeah, that too. We called him that in the comics, but there was like, I forget what the concept was. There was supposed to be like the Cain and Abel thing with but they named him Seth instead. There's some kind of dynamic in 4, and I just don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, me neither.
Reference. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the interesting thing about Mimi. There's speculation she might have had a name change in development. Because once again, people did the CSI work on the Battle Hub picture. Apparently, there's a tournament bracket that, like, the names on the bracket are like half of the potential playable cast. But there's a character on there that was named Canon. It leads people to believe that Mimi might have gotten either a name change or a name change dependent on region. Like for example, the Balrog Vega Bison situation.
Mm-hmm.
So he might not be Mimi by the final release.
Yeah, I was curious about the name because I did a lookup, and like the name Mimi is French, but
which is anything else on Mimi? Not much to say.
I just hope that her moveset is actually interesting for once, because I didn't like Abel very much. He was kind of boring.
So then
there isn't much to say, so yeah.
Just like the rest of the 4. Anyways.
I'm very curious.
Lily, she has she has tomahawks.
There is a lot to say about Riri. Riri, Lily, tomato. The description is Mexican girl in a green tunic with an Aztec weapon.
Oh, maybe she might have some
Noted,
connection to T-Hawk or something.
noted to may have some kind of relation to T-Hawk.
Oh.
Yep, there you go.
So will she be as annoying as T-Hawk?
She has some. She's weapon based. So I'm
Oh.
guessing the Cham Cham to T-Hawk's Tam Tam for anyone who plays Samurai Showdown.
I remember Tam Tam.
Yeah, but those are definitely some Aztec-looking clubs. This to me is a dynamic design. I am very much okay with it, and you can tell that Capcom is showing restraint, not necessarily going back to the well of cartoonish stereotypes.
Well, we know they could have changed her to a T-Hawk 2.0.
Like, even in the face of Riri over here. I like it. What are people's thoughts on Lily?
I still can't say other than her being somewhat related to T-Hawk.
I mean, her, Mimi, and Aki are the characters I'm the most interested in at least trying out, design based off design.
But
I'm interested in the next character we're about to talk about.
I tell you, if looks could kill, JP, dandy Russian with psycho power in a peach-colored suit.
Wait, psycho power? You're telling me he could be something like a bison stand-in?
Because of the capital letters, there is a theory that he is related to G, to Q, whatever that
That's
little
what I was
secret
thinking.
cabal is.
Oh, shit.
Furthermore, next to the Russian flag is a question mark flag.
And that question mark flag is the same color as Ed's Shadowloo flag too.
Which just raises further questions.
But I have a theory on JP, and I wanted to mention that earlier in the game or earlier in the podcast, but I didn't want to spoil this part here.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna jump out a window or like jump off a building if I swear he is related to the Belger family. Because this is Final Fight. If he's a Belger,
I would be right there with you, but I am somewhat certain. Isn't Belger Italian?
I have no idea. I don't even remember.
I think it's one of the profiles from a random Final Fight game. Probably Final Fight Revenge. It's probably Final Fight Revenge where it confirms his nationality is Italian, but I could be horribly wrong, and I hope I am.
I'm Googling this now.
But this is an outstanding design. I think it's more in line of the cool designs that people want more of. He's got his cane, he's got the duds, he's got the gloves, he's got the facial hair. This man is business defined.
Yeah, he does have the drip.
I wonder if he's like friends with Dudley or something, since they both dress so dapper and are gentlemen and stuff.
I mean, if he has psycho power, then I'm guessing he's probably not a good guy.
Yeah, especially with that question mark flag. There is villainy afoot with him.
There is evil afoot.
Evil. And speaking of nationality, if anyone else has to say about JP. No? Okay. And speaking of nationality, we're going right back to the good old US of A, Kimberly.
I want to know more about this character. I'm just gonna go in. Okay, descriptor first, then squeeing later. African American ninja girl with an orange hoodie, black pants, wears earbuds, and has blue highlights in her hair while using roller skates. While I don't see the roller skates, oh my god, this character is such a rad character. She has American written all over her. The Walkman she's got there. And it's a ninja design? Oh, I hope she was trained by Guy. I love this design so much. The hair, the overall attitude. At the end of the Battle Hub, they mentioned new character Kimberly. So she definitely exists and will probably be as is. I'm really looking forward to her. I can't say enough nice things about this design. This is a potential rad main. I'm just warning you guys right now. Dibs.
Yeah, this smells like a red maid for sure.
Okay, go on. I've said my piece.
Yeah, like gameplay wise, I don't know. It's hard to say what her gameplay is gonna be like. But she could be brushed down, she could be mix up, or something like Ibuki with 50-50s. Hard
Or
to say.
she could be a mix of Ibuki and Guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's probably
like,
gonna. She probably get. Yeah, I was gonna say she definitely has some Ibuki vibes with
Like-
the whole teenage ninja thing.
man, like I was asked with Guy, but he was really fun to watch with how you can mix people up with like the run and like grab people out of the air.
Yeah, she was probably trained by Guy. I mean, I'm assuming she looks like she could be from like Metro City, New York or so, and the assumption is she's either like she was either trained by Guy or Maki, I would think, or I don't think Zeku would have. I don't know what Zeku's up to now, but
Hope Zeku's in the game. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But she's
Like,
definitely a Metro City ninja.
Yeah, and the fact that she has a Walkman, yeah, she's into the retro stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down with that.
Like
that
she
leads me
looks
to
like she's out of Streets of Rage.
Yes. I guess that's why I'm so in love with her design. It's just got such a fashion look to it.
Mm-hmm.
She's a girl that's on top of the latest trends circa 1990s. This explains the Walkman.
Probably unironically likes vaporwave like I do.
That is either a Walkman or a flip phone, and I'm laughing either way. Give me more of this character, Capcom. I speculated that she was the one that was going to be revealed at Summer Games Fest, and I'm disappointed. I'm starving for info.
I wonder if because of that Walkman means that the game still takes place in the 90s.
I mean, people are into retro stuff today. I
That's
mean,
true.
I mean, like vinyls are coming back in style.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Walkmans are pretty stylish too for some people still like
Yeah, and Polaroids. I'm guessing she's just into the retro stuff.
them. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, next character is Aki.
The last character, Aki.
Yes, Aki. Yes, not the developers behind the wrestling games. No, the last character's legit name is Aki.
AKI, Chinese assassin lady that wears a black dress and uses poison like Fang.
Yeah,
It's not Phantom.
yeah. Like I'm guessing Capcom's design philosophy was like, okay, Fang was not that popular. How do we make it popular? Make a female version.
Make a waifu.
She kind of reminds me of Lady Dimitrescu with those with the claw hand and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh God, could you imagine if that was their plan for Aki?
Yeah,
Tie it in with Resident Evil.
yeah. Like judging from the details we know, it's most likely her and Ed are probably the main villains.
Most likely.
I hope
Oh,
she's
wait.
like super tall.
But wait, wasn't
Maybe-
there like a female Ed?
Fall
Yeah,
I forgot her name. Fuck yeah. I bet you she'll be in the game too.
Yeah. But yeah, they'll probably keep like the same style of like a Fong where you have to poison your enemy and you can have like the poison hands and all of that. Although maybe they'll change it up a bit to make her different from Fong.
Maybe Rushdown.
Yeah.
I
Although-
can easily see her being a cross between Fang and Vega.
Yeah, although how would
Oh,
you balance the poison gimmick without making it OP?
Okay, you know Devora in Mortal Kombat X?
Yeah.
Here we go.
She has the venomous variation where if she hits you with her stingers, you suffer damage over time. It could be something like that.
Mhm.
You know what this does remind me of, and I'm going to date myself horribly. Anyone ever read a manga called Kengan Ashura?
No.
No.
Okay. There's a fighter in the Kengan Ashura named Sawada. He's got similar looking hair. I can very much see the little I can very much see the bowl cut design with like the face, with like the face not obscured. I'm just getting vibes from that.
Oh,
I'm
I heard a
sure.
lot of people say that too. Like, a lot of people on Twitter were saying that. A lot of people on Reddit were saying that too.
Yep.
So here's my theory on what Aki, but like I have another theory on like on the name Aki. Like, obviously it's an acronym, so maybe it stands for a killer inside or so.
Wow.
Like maybe she seems kind of nice at first, and then when you get close enough to her, she's like, "Hey, I'm actually an assassin."
You need to pass that on to Capcom because you've made me way more interested in this character than I ever would have been.
Yeah, maybe that's how she gets to her victims. Just has them lower their guard and then just kills them.
Well, when I read the toxicity thing, like the background story, just to be sure, and if this character has any relation to Phantom, she was actually a prostitute who was soliciting her services to Fong, and then instead of giving him those services, he took her as an apprentice instead. So if these two are the same characters, then that could be what Aki's about.
It just means more dealing with Fong, and that's no universe I want to live in.
Fong
Oh, yeah,
2.0. Here we
I
go.
hated Fong.
Nope, not a fan.
Because I think wasn't that an acronym for something? Like that was like friend and a nice guy, but he actually like wasn't nice.
You're talking to the wrong person for
Yeah.
Fong information.
He was where even Vega disliked him.
Vega was like, ugh, ew.
I think the whole cast hated him.
Yeah, like everybody, like their win quotes against him was like everyone was just talking shit on him.
And thank God we're getting away from those designs and going for something more respectable.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm loving this entire Street Fighter 6 cast. 22 characters. That's not a bad launch roster.
I mean, it's better than 5 because we only got like 10 characters for 5.
They've had 16.
Yep,
Or 16
at launch.
Yeah, and Street Fighter 4 on arcades was 16, but consoles got 9 extra.
Yeah, there could be more coming out that haven't been announced.
Like there's the theory that there might be 3 other characters we haven't seen yet. And then there was that one time the people got fooled for a bit, myself included, about Minot returning.
Yeah, I got fooled by that too, admittedly. There was a fan art going around of Minot that had a very similar vibe to the concept art, but no, it was actually fan art. I am relieved I don't have to deal with that ball-bearing bitch in Street Fighter 6.
Oh, so it's not just you who didn't like her. Okay.
I mean, design-wise, she's great, but fighting her is not fun.
No, I did not like fighting her.
Any characters we talk about that's not either in the main roster or potentially not going to be in the main roster will most likely be DLC or in the next game.
I swear, I wish I had the art where it's Rose and Minot saying, "Should we tell him?" And it's the scene Ken's future.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
because they have win quotes against Ken in Street Fighter V, where it's like, you have a warm heart, but what does it mean for your future?
Goddamn.
Where they said like his star was gonna come out.
His star was gonna fall.
Minot had something similar to Cody, I think, or similar to that with Cody. Her win quote against him was saying that that his future was gonna have a downfall also, and I don't remember the quote exactly. Let me see if I can pull it up.
That's probably referring to his prison time in Alpha, because, I don't know, becoming mayor of Metro City is not what I would call a downfall.
No, I mean, unless something happens to him, I'm not gonna say it.
Maybe something happens to him in 6.
Yeah,
God
maybe
forbid.
he gets assassinated or something.
No, not Cody.
Hey, he's my main. He's my boyfriend, so I don't want to say anything bad about him.
I mean, your boyfriend also cosplayed Virgil in 5.
Yes, he did.
Oh yeah,
That's why I played him.
Yeah, on a side note, what do you think about like the other like stuff that's been rumored about 5? Like with Kenny Omega being Cody.
I hope not. I like Kenny, but
Yeah.
this
I
doesn't
mean,
fit.
I don't
He can,
know. Like, I don't like
he can cosplay Cody, but I don't want him to voice
like,
Cody.
like he can sell a
No.
promo fine, but as actual acting, yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna be wonky.
That's gonna be a
He's
no for
he's
me, bro.
clearly a fan of Street Fighter, but even if I like him as a professional wrestler, it should really stay that way in this case.
Yeah,
agree.
and it
Wow,
would be
I'm sorry. Manat's win quotes like pretty much tells a lot of things that's gonna happen in 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's worth
And the one for
going
Ed
back
is like,
to.
whoa.
That's all we need to hear.
yeah, and it would kind of be shitty to like the guy who's still voicing Cody to just lose his job because they want Kenny Omega.
Oh, that's our base roster. Now let's bitch about who's not here.
Vega.
No Street Fighter Alpha characters.
I
Yeah,
wish Vega was in it.
no, Akira. I mean, I guess she was gonna be a one-time thing, but it would have been nice for her to come back.
No Rainbow Mika.
No
no
Street
Sakura?
Fighter. No Street Fighter 3 characters.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no Dudley, no Makoto,
no Q.
no Oro.
And for a game that takes place in Metro City and has some of them being fucking visible in the background, no Final Fight characters.
Yep, no Hugo or Poison.
Not
No Cody
even
yet.
Damned, despite him being prevalent, despite him having a Man Gear jacket that I would totally buy in the Capcom store if it were there.
Yeah, as a relief, at least there's no Abigail.
Don't
Even,
Drill?
but his stage is there. But you don't get the
Oh.
character.
Meme magic. Remember, meme magic.
Yeah.
It's the more I think about it, for the fact that this game takes place in the city of the Mad Gear Gang, and none of the gang members even sniff the initial roster. None of the final fighters are even considered. That is the one negative that I just can't escape from this
Well,
idea.
I'm sure there's going to be more characters announced, so let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater here just yet.
I don't know, man. This ain't the first game where this ain't the first Street Fighter game where they had no Final Fight character.
Mm-hmm.
Street Fighter 3.
Yeah, they're probably saving those characters for DLC.
I mean, granted, they saved that with Hugo.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
that's true.
Oh, I found the quote from Manat and Cody, by the way.
What is
It
it?
says that his hold on, I just found it. Your career may end sooner than you think. I see shirked responsibilities and anger in your future. So maybe he was a one-term mayor.
Yeah.
So something definitely happens to him, I think, in something.
Jessica got kidnapped again. Step down, or you know what'll happen.
Either that
Mhm.
or looks both ways. They could have killed her.
jeez.
I'm a little bit disappointed we don't get Sakura back. I really liked her. I
She's
thought she
probably
was a
gonna
cool
be
character.
DLC.
Oh, she's DLC. She's
Oh,
Or
no.
maybe Ryu finally put the bun in their oven.
No.
That's not. I doubt
Yeah.
Ryu's gonna ever do that. That'd be a
Ryu does not possess father qualities.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
that
he
would
may
not
have
be real.
he may have a dad beard, but he's not gonna be a dad. I don't see that in his future.
Ryu is the type to set it and forget it.
Like he just says, "Yeah, I'll see you later. I gotta go train."
I've got to be fighting though.
Mm-hmm. Well,
He's
Sakura's
going-
going to follow him to the end of the world, so.
Yeah.
All right then. All right. You know, Ryu's gonna be with Akuma all the time. So who's Sakura's alternative to Akuma? You know, who
Dan,
is her rival? That's gonna be Akuma. Dan is not Akuma.
I mean,
Sakura's rival for life is Karin. We know this.
That is fact.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, another
she's-
character that's not in the game.
Honestly, her being in 5 was enough because that felt like a long shot.
Oh yeah, because she was before 5. She was only in the Alpha series.
Yep, only in Alpha, only in Capcom Fighting Jam, only in Namco Cross Capcom, and that was about it. People thought that because Capcom didn't touch base with the manga artist that created the manga that manifested Karin, that she wasn't viable for any future Street Fighter games, and that rumor got squashed when she was announced for 5. So her existing in a Street Fighter game in the 21st century is enough.
I was hoping we'd also get like one of the like I know we got
I'll be right back.
like what you call a freak character that's all weird and shit. Like I'm surprised we're not seeing like the closest we got to that in this maybe is Blanca. Like I was hoping we'd see like Necro or 12 or something come back, or maybe Oro to be like this game's freak character, weirdo character, whatever you want to call him.
Like I said, it feels like Capcom is stepping away from the freaks and outlandish cartoonish design. I mean, Blanca's there to stay because legacy. But everyone else seems to have gotten the boot. And I hope to be proven wrong with DLC. I think that finally covers the leaked roster. This is a shame that this got out. And it is kind of Capcom tradition that massive leaks kind of spoil the fun. Anyone remember Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3? The day of the announcement. The day of the announcement, we immediately knew all the new characters because people did the website research.
Oh, sorry about that.
I mean, there was no way that Virgil wasn't going to be in that.
There was very easily, and it was for the better.
But yeah, when do you think they're gonna potentially announce like something like a DLC, like before launch or post launch?
For launch, that's how you get people on board. Strive did it. Even Street Fighter V did it.
Yeah, it's like a standard this day.
I think alongside the launch of the game, they're going to say, "Hey, DLC pack right away." Who do you think will be on that DLC pack? If you could put 5 DLC characters along with the launch of Street Fighter 6, who would you put?
Hagar, Cody, Sakura,
Vega.
Vega, yeah, Vega would be kind of fun. And maybe just for shits and giggles, like someone from Saturday Night Slam Masters, because I think Saturday Night Slam Masters is part of the Street Fighter Final Fight universe.
It is because Hagar is there.
And I think Alex was in it.
Gunlock. Gunlock's related to Guile.
I know who could they bring back? Soldom. Put him in the main roster.
I think it's his name that betrays him.
Thank you. I would love him to be in the main roster.
Like, at least there'll be your Final Fight character right there.
If you're getting... Honestly, if you're getting any Final Fight character in here, it should be Poison. I feel like Poison is such a unique character. Even her 5 version is somewhat different from her 4 version, but just enough different. She's the Metro City representative at this point. Hell, she's probably the Mad Gear representative, but despite Damned being in the trailer, and he should totally be playable, Capcom, please listen to me. I will literally suck your appendage of choice if you put Damned in this game, Capcom. I'm not joking.
Well,
Maybe.
That's recorded. That's a contract.
Maybe he would be like the Birdie type or so.
Yes. But yeah, in any case, that's the initial roster. I think we should go into general final thoughts and hopes for Street Fighter 6, because as of recent, the official Twitter said that while we're grateful for the information, we're going to go dark for a while.
Evo.
Yeah, probably Evo.
That's when you'll hear about more info about the game again. And probably the beta announcement.
Yeah,
But
I just
otherwise, yeah, it's gonna go dark for a while.
I just hope that they learned from their launch of Street Fighter V to make a full, game on launch.
I don't really have much to say in regards to hopes because they solved two things. Crossplay across the board. This game is coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, and Steam, and it's crossplay every which avenue you can imagine.
Sorry, Switch fans.
Now they say rollback netcode, but bear in mind, Street Fighter Cross Tekken had rollback. Street Fighter V had rollback. It feels like the one time that they got rollback right was Marvel Infinite. And people didn't play that game for the rollback. In fact, they didn't play that game at all.
No, there was a different reasons why no one played that game, but that's not here or there.
I just hope Capcom gets the rollback right this time. Preferably have more than one person work on it.
Yes.
What an idea.
Well, on that tweet, they did say, and it could be last minute thing, but they did say it will not feel like Street Fighter V's rollback.
Thank goodness.
That's good. It's nice that it exists at all. I mean, it was going to have rollback. That's practically a mandate at this point due to the circumstances. But it's nice to get confirmation that Capcom continues to care. Whether or not it's good is something we'll find out a year from now.
Or from a beta.
Yeah,
I'm pre-ordering this game as soon as I can.
Honestly, I just want them to avoid the launch issues of Street Fighter V. But yeah,
I feel like this game is the death of the comeback mechanic. Just that's my one hope. And judging by the systems, judging by the drive management, you're basically going to need every resource you can to even think about coming back.
yeah, it's not like you have stuff like Revenge or V-Trigger.
Right. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on this game. But anyone else with just any other random thoughts before we do our outros?
Just really happy for the final fight aspects in this game. Like, it definitely feels like Streetwise. It definitely feels like a Final Fight successor. I hope Thailong makes the roster. I really miss him. I miss having him in the game. I would like to see Makoto make the roster, and don't hurt Cody. Don't hurt my Cody. Pretty much about it. I don't expect Charlie to come back. I think that story's over and done with, as much as, Charlie is my favorite character, and I also have realized we've moved on from him. His story is over. So that's unfortunate, but I'm just looking forward to seeing what Street Fighter 6 can do.
I just hope that they don't screw this game up, honestly. They have all the workings of a good game, but if they screw it up, it's going to be hell on earth.
It's definitely got the workings of a good game for certain. All the systems that they're telling us about means that Capcom is definitely doing the work. Like I said, the risk reward here is very emphasized. But yeah, I think that about covers our general excitement for Street Fighter 6. So if there's nothing else, we'll just do our outros and get back to preparing. So, Jojo, where can we find you?
You can find me on YouTube under the channel JoJo's Woodshed, and I'm also on Twitter @TheLostJojo. I try to stream at least three times a week, as long as my IRL obligations don't hinder that.
Kaneki, where can we find you?
Well, the only ways you can find me is on Twitter and YouTube. YouTube, under the name of Ghoul War Order.
Duly noted. Nikki, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Nero Catatonic. You can also find me on Twitch at Nero Catatonic. I don't really use my YouTube much anymore. I really just watch it to use it to watch music videos. You can also find me on Metal Devastation Radio, where I DJ doom metal, black metal, death metal, and melodic death metal. And that's on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m.
Nero?
Well, you can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch under the name King Nero Barrage. I don't really stream like I used to. Hopefully, I want to get back into it.
Drillbit?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Drillbit777. That's the only place I'm really active on.
And I have been your host, the Rad. You can find me on Twitter under that name, and you can find my YouTube channel, Rad's Rad Games, where all year long I am planning to do arcade runs of several Street Fighter games and, well, any fighting game with a Capcom logo I can get my hands on. I just did a run of Street Fighter, the movie, the game, and I hope to never touch that turd again. But with that, I think we are going to end the podcast here and get back to playing the old Street Fighter games in anticipation of the new Street Fighter games. So with that, peace. We'll see you later.
Hadouken!